brand clarity becomes more and more important. And brand clarity in this case is what is it that you're actually offering me as your consumer? What can I get from you on a regular and consistent basis that positions you in my mind as being deserving of the price that you're charging? Again, for the consumer, it's all about value. And so brands really is, brand equals that value proposition. And particularly in areas where it's high competition, brand clarity is more important than ever before. And again, it all comes back to the price and what it is that you have to offer. Price alone isn't going to do it, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more later on. So knowing that brands now are losing some ground, that people are putting more value on other things than just a brand name. Last minute bookings. We can take a look at take a look at your own life and lifestyle, and you can see where this trend is coming. We're working at frenetic paces. We're planning in a shorter period of time, because oftentimes you've got to try and coordinate two schedules, or if you're a family, your schedule, your husband's schedule, the families, when are the kids out of school, when are they on any kind of a break. And oftentimes it means that you just don't get it all together in a very, you do get it all together in a very short period of time. You don't have that luxury of planning a month out, 2 months out, 3 months out. In fact, the growth is in 6 days. So here's the stat. In the US in the past year, 27% of travelers took a last-minute trip that was planned only 6 days in advance. So I'm going to ask you that rather than ask yourself whether or not you should discount your product or experience, ask if it makes sense to you, to your company, within your overall marketing strategy. What I'm asking you to do really is to be thinking about it proactively versus reactively. What Brian just said is that a lot of companies will put their offers onto these flash sales to try and liquidate a lot of inventory in a hurry. I'm saying that might be applicable for you, but think about it on a proactive basis versus a reactive basis. Yeah. So is everybody looking for the lowest price? No. I mean, if everybody wanted the lowest price, and I'm going to say that if that was the case, we'd all stay in Motel 6s and Four Seasons would all be empty. And that's not the case. Everyone has different needs, and there are different products that satisfy those needs. And it's not always price-based. So your price is also part of how your customers' perceptions are established. And think about that. So if the first time that I was introduced to this particular accommodation was through this Groupon offer, imagine the perception that I now have for this particular accommodation provider. I'm thinking of it at that particular price point, which may not be a match for how they're actually positioned in the marketplace. What they've done, they've messed with my perception. Conversely, if I was a regular customer of this particular place, or had stayed there even one other time recently, paid full rate, and then got a Groupon offer that told me I could have paid or saved $80, have you just created, or have they just created, one very unhappy previous customer? Possibly. You know what the industry standard is that actually has been studied to say at this percentage you will actually influence a sale? Anybody? 30%. 30% is what you would have to discount your experience by to actually influence a sale. That's a steep discount. So anytime a price promotion is offered, it has to be properly fenced in order to prevent those kinds of perceptions happening in your consumer's mind, where one, I might trade down. I might have bought something at the regular price, but now I've seen you've got a special offer, so I'm trading down to get it at the lower price. You want to prevent that from happening whenever you can. So to do that, there's several different types of fencing techniques. So we talk product fencing, and this is one that we've addressed a couple of times already this morning. This is your good, better, best. So if I want to buy good, I understand that there's a difference in the price of the good product versus the better product versus the best product. So I clearly in my mind know there are differences. Hotels also do it in terms of rooms where you've got standard, deluxe, or suites. So that's a way of fencing your pricing so that the consumer clearly understands your pricing structure and will, if they want to buy down, they know they're actually buying down to a different product. So examples of this would be, minimum length of stay in terms of an accommodation provider, or how the consumer is booking in terms of the, like a pre-season ski pass. So you know that you're buying it in advance, so it's available for a limited period of time only. If you're willing to buy your ski pass in July, good on you, you're going to get it at this price. If you think, no, I'm waiting until November to see what the snow does, then you're going to pay the higher price. So that's price fencing in terms of availability. Customer fencing can also be done in terms of geography. If you are a resident, you show your driver's license with a certain postal code, then you're going to get it as a special residence rate. And then, of course, there's transaction fences. Personally, I did this trip to Las Vegas earlier this year, found the hotel where we wanted to stay, very lovely property, but a little bit higher end in terms of pricing. So I hunted around, what's the best price I can get, really wanted to stay, can't remember where we were, I think we were at the Venetian. Really wanted to stay there because they had like mini suites. Each room was a mini suite, very appealing to me. But a little bit pricier than I was going to pay. What I had to do to get the best price available was I had to pay in advance. I had to give them all my money at the outset, and there was no cancellation policy. Like I gave up my right to ask for my money back because I got that lower rate. So that's a transaction fence. The key to fencing is you don't ever want to have your customer comparing apples to oranges. You want them to see that the price is different because something else has changed. It's a different time of day, it's a different time of year, it's a different product, good, better, best. Value add, this is one that was talked about a lot, I think yesterday, in terms of the kinds of things, thinking about your EQ segments and the kinds of things that are of value to them. And could be something that you include, whether it's in a package or with the, in the pricing structure, good, better, best, on the best end. What if you added something in? So I look at that and I go, that's really worthwhile. I like that idea. I like the idea of going to a wine tasting and then be able to rub shoulders with the sommelier to get the inside take on, what the grapes did this year. Not a wine person, so that really wouldn't make a difference to me. But, to many people it would be. Or to be able to go to a restaurant and go in the afternoon and work with a chef to prepare some food put together with local ingredients. So in terms of pricing, what I would suggest to you is to take a look at how if you have a family rate, how do you define a family? because a family